Hi, folks. This is Mountain Man coming to you from parts unknown. How is everyone doing tonight? I hope this video finds you well. And the trial is starting for this individual, this furry, this dysphoric weirdo. It's going to be very interesting, and we're going to keep a sharp eye on it. Jack Posobiec is reporting from the trial, and he said that Tyler Robinson, once again, had himself a little laugh during the proceedings, and we shall see how that ends up for this individual. But I say justice is on trial, okay? And we're going to talk about what I mean by that. I think you all know what I mean by it. But anyway, Trump is heading to The Hague, where the globalists nest. That's where they nest, and they feather their nests with our money, okay? Well, they've done it for decades, and we're going to talk about that too. But what do? I play videos while people are coming in, settling in, getting themselves a cup of coffee, a nice cold brouhaha, or an adult beverage of their choice, whatever is your want. And once again, the song that's coming up to play, I don't know who sang it. I don't know yet. But anyway, then we're going to be like butter and get on a roll.
Bill Clinton.
Nice guy. Got a lot of problems coming up, in my opinion, with the famous island.
Dust on my Bible, flags on the line. You laughed at our warnings, called truth a crime. You sold us your secrets, wrapped up like hope. Signed all our futures with a poison note. You sat in your mansions, we prayed in the rain. You cast every favor on a ledger of pain. You thought you were covered, names on a list, private plain pages you swore don't exist. Tick-tock, time's up, game over, you're done. Thought you hid in the shadows, but we watched every run. You sold out your own people, every promise a lie. Now the truth hits different with the world looking right in your eyes. Tick-tock, time's up, game over, you lose. Treason don't pay well when the light cuts through. God on our side and he's right on time. When the judge walks in, every bell gon' chime. Game over. You thought she was certain, thought he was too. Shook hands in the back room, said they'll never break through. You mocked every farmer, every steel-toed boo. Called him crazy and bitter while you buried the proof. Now screens start flashing, whole names, young kids, whole world scrolling through the things y'all did. Digital soldiers from the cornfields to Rome say leave our children alone or we're taking you home. Let's go! Tick-tock, time's up, game over, you're done. Thought you hid in the shadows, but we watched every run. You sold out your own people, every promise a lie. Now the truth hits different with the world looking right in your eyes. Tick-tock, time's up, game over, you lose. Treason don't pay well when the light cuts through. God on our side and he's right on time. When the judge walks in, every bell gon' chime. Game over. From the back roads to the big tall towers, patriots worldwide, this the final hour. You can beg, you can bargain, you can scream, you can hide, but the book's been written and your name's inside. Tick-tock, time's up, game over, you're done. Thought you hid in the shadows, but we watched every run. You sold out your own people, every promise a lie. Now the truth hits different with the world looking right in your eyes. Tick-tock, time's up, game over, you lose. Treason don't pay well when the light cuts through. God on our side and he's right on time. Nothing's gonna stop what's already signed. Game over.
I was the hunted, and now I'm the hunter.
storm's on.
Yes, sir.
I'm wondering what storm you're talking about.
They have unsuccessfully tried to take down the wrong person.
He's absolutely going to come back with full vengeance the next time around.
Well, think about what 4 years of a retribution presidency might look like. Our Constitution really does give the president tremendous power to destroy. This will be something we could never have imagined.
Now the gloves are off.
Some of Trump's close political allies told him they are working on figuring out the identities of the FBI and DOJ staff and forming lists.
I will direct a complete D&H in America for their illegal, racist enforcement of the law. The deep state is destroying our nation, but the tables must turn and we will quickly destroy the deep state. We know where the bodies are buried. There are a lot of people out there that have done some very, very evil things, very bad things, I would say treasonous things against our country. People that have done such harm to our country. I've been looking at them for a long time.
He could order the investigation and prosecution of individuals who he perceives as enemies.
Put them all in jail where they belong. You gotta get tough and smart, and you have to fight fire with fire. You can't allow this to go on. And I will be the one to clean it up. I am your retribution. We will take care of it. We will take care of it.
Yes, we will take care of it. Hi, folks. Thank you so much for joining me tonight. I'm glad you're here. I hate to put that evil individual's face on the screen, but, man, I tell you what he did, you'd think back and it's like assassinating Will Rogers or I don't know, Mark Twain or somebody like that. You know what he did to Charlie Kirk. And what would people have done back in the day if he'd have done that to Roy Rogers or somebody like that? Anyway, Darla, nice to see you. Todd, Robin's here. Nice to see you. Sissy, Tammy. All right. Max here. Let me see my scroll sticking a little bit. Robert's here. Nice to see you. There's Wayne. He said, give me a thumbs up. That's true. It helps the video go around. Thank you, Wayne, for going by buy me a coffee along with Younger Gang. Ha, ha, ha. I appreciate it. Brett, nice to see you. Robin went by this week. Wayne, Mike, and Bev. Mike and Bev was the last ones to stop by there. And Younger Gang. Let's see. Oh, my goodness. Is that the bottom of the chats? They dropped. Wait a second. They dropped off on me. Where'd it go? Where was I? Actually, Outlandish is here. Let's see. We got Cole, we got Tammy, we got Mac. I dropped off at, was it Wayne? Elva's here. Yes, Elva, I got your message that your chat's disappeared. So, Todd, the mystery is solved. Elva's chats got wiped out instead of that maghat thing that I got rid of. Hello, Melinda. So we know who it was. It was Elva's chats. But you weren't hidden from the channel. Thank goodness. Let's see. Robert's here. If I missed anybody. Hi, Flannel Cheese. Nice to see you. Linda Marie. Nice to see you. We got Mac. Let's see. All right. Let's see. I think I got everybody. Sherry's here. And I don't know. Well, you know, I thought they were going to video this trial, but it's not. They're going to allow cameras, but not video. I got that wrong in a prior broadcast. And I guess now is a good time as any to correct it. I think they ought to film it, but what do I know? Miss Menderson is here. All right. So anyway, justice is on trial. This guy needs the ultimate penalty is still on the table. They tried to have it removed. And no, it's old Sparky or whatever method they use is what he's going to be facing. We'll see if he's got that smile on his face for long. And I tell you what, I pulled his name up, and all these pictures exactly the same when you go to a photo gallery of him. I had to scroll, look, and finally, there's the one where he was smiling. They tucked that away. They tuck it away, but it's still on there. And apparently he did it again today, according to Jack Posobiec. So anyway, we've got Trump is going to be confronting the globalists at The Hague. And I was going through Truth Social, and Clandestine put up some posts that are pretty much right in line with my thinking. I should have got a copy of the one he put up. But he said that Trump right now is working on the morale of the country. What did I say was one of the most important things in conflict, in armed conflict, was the morale of your troops and the morale of your citizens. If you break that, you are way ahead of the game. If you break the morale of your opponents, and Trump is shoring up our morale, and they're doing everything they can to destroy it. Even petty things. Well, that's all they have left. That's all they have left. Let me see if this is the one. Yeah, Trump put this up. He put up an entire article, but I just got the first part of it from the White House. The Washington Examiner. With Trump's economic wins, quote, Democrats have nothing to run on. But we see the feeble attempts of all the coordinated symphonic media talking about affordability. Americans are suffering. They can't talk about eggs anymore. Gas prices are dropping. People's 401ks are going up. The only ones who are complaining are the ones who've been ripping off SNAP benefits, Medicaid, Medicare, HUD, the bureaucrats that have worthless jobs that are getting fired because they're nothing but political apparatchiks. They're getting the boot. They're the only ones that can complain. Everybody else is doing better. Washington Examiner columnist Joe Concha said President Donald Trump's historic run in the economy and the stock market is creating trouble for Democrats. If everything could be straightened out with Iran, they get a true agreement. Strait of Hormuz open, gas prices go down. Democrats have nothing to run on, Concha said on Businesses This Evening edit on Friday. Concha praised economic wins under the Trump administration, the job market growth, and low unemployment rates, which were detailed in the May jobs report released Friday. If the SCOTUS hadn't done what they did with the tariffs, which I think will be overturned, okay, always keep in mind the Dred Scott decision, okay, just before Lincoln took office. That got turned around. And other rulings by the Supreme Court, Roe v. Wade, it got sent back to the states. So I believe the tariff thing is going to get turned around. It's just a matter of time. But what would Trump have done by now if it wasn't for that? Instead of writing a big fat check for $160 billion, and by now the lost money would have it well over $250 billion, what do you think Trump would have done with that money? What did he tell us he was going to do? He would have gave checks out, tariff checks. And they stopped him. But they can't stop him overall. Can you imagine what the national mood would be like right now if everybody had gotten $2,500 tariff checks with more to come? more to come. So they're scratching around, trying to magnify losses, magnify hardship, and paint us out as horrible people, and celebrating imbecilic individuals such as Ketanji Brown Jackson. There she is. Imbecilic. Understand the Constitution or the spirit of 1776. So how can you uphold? How can you uphold something you don't even comprehend or you've been taught a false history of? Caught in a new controversy, Justice Ketanji Brown Jackson is facing fresh criticism after appearing on the cover of Essence magazine, with critics arguing the Supreme Court justice is leaning too hard into celebrity treatment. You know, I meant to get a copy of a picture from the 1980s. Vanity Fair, I believe it was, put a picture up of Ronald Reagan and Nancy Reagan. And their sales exploded. I mean, they sold so many magazines, and it was the only picture they put up of Ronald and Nancy Reagan. And they caught so much crap from the liberals. The limousine liberals in power in Washington, Hollywood, and the press. They never put a picture of the Reagans on their magazine ever again during a two-term, 8-year presidency. But, if they get a chance to lionize some babbling nitwit pushing the message, they do it. They do it. So anyway, even the FISA Cup is being politicized. You know, what was the referee that called a foul on the American player? You know, the American player that we're such a white supremacist nation that we, wait a minute. That's an American player, isn't it? Wait a minute. Donald Trump's stuck up for him. All of America's sticking up for him, right? That's how racist we are. They say this referee is crooked anyway. I don't know. I don't follow that stuff. But he threw a red card on this player. Yeah, he used his hand, put his arm out in front of another player you're not supposed to touch in football. Not supposed to use your hands at all. But a red card means it's a suspension. That's for something egregious, not for a everyday foul. And Trump's called up and said, hey, you know, so they're so petty, they even say, take out one of America's best players. Anytime you get a chance, throw a red card on him. And that's what they did. Well, we know Trump made a few phone calls and said, don't try that here. You better reevaluate. And they went ahead and nuked the decision. Here's the joke going around, though. Marco Rubio, come on, studio. What is wrong with you today? Breaking 5 ounces Monday night's referee. Marco Rubio. Among all the other outfits he gets to wear. So anyway, and the left is going cuckoo over it. The usual suspects, I won't name them, that I check out now and then. Oh, America always cheats. Donald Trump is corrupt. Blah, 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 blah. No, Donald Trump is just keeping them straight, right? Keeping them straight. You're not playing little games with us. You know, you're our guests in this country, and you're not going to do that to us. Just that simple. So they're scraping the bottom of the barrel here. And there's all kinds of videos coming out. Wait a minute. Where'd it go? Come on back up on the screen. There we go. Have you all seen this one yet? Trump goes out in the field. Give me that card. Give me that. Give me that. What is the matter with you? Let me see. Nah, I don't think so. And that's the end of that. So, it's only fair. And everybody was saying, that foul was so inadvertent, and it didn't deserve a suspension, that's for sure. I had another video of that soccer player. I had it in my library last night, but I didn't get a chance to play it. Let me see how I can find it. Here it is. Here it is. I didn't get to play this last night because the story hadn't really gelled at it. I wasn't sure what the player had done. I hadn't seen it with my own eyes, but I saw it now, and it wasn't a suspension worthy offense at all.
You get a red card. Nah, bro, I have the Trump card. I win. What? That's not how it works.
That's how it works around here, around these parts. So anyway, that's how it works around these parts. You're not in Kansas anymore. But anyway, referees are paid off too much. Well, sure they are. Just ask anybody that used to be an old school mob. They'll tell you all about it. College basketball, professional sports of all kinds. Pappy Two Bears, how you doing? Nice to see you. I'm just looking through the chats. So anyway, we had a couple of people go AWOL. Did y'all notice anybody going AWOL? Here's the biggest celebration for America. I don't know if I have a picture of him in here or yet. Let me see. I got a picture, or had a picture. And I think I used it the other night. But we all know what he looks like. Do I have a picture of a tortoise? Who am I talking about? In my studio, an old tortoise. Who am I talking about, folks? Anyway, Mitch McConnell's wife, they say, has fled, flown on a business trip or whatever excuse they use. She's gone to China. Is that what you all heard? Did I hear right? Did you all hear that? After Mitch McConnell was found unresponsive, she put an egg in her shoe and beat it. Is this it? Let me see. Yeah, just in, Mitch McConnell's wife. There's a tortoise. I found it. Jets to China for bizarre meeting days after medical emergency. And nothing official, just a chitter chatter on the interwebs. I'll put it in the speculation bucket, okay? Excuse me while I have a sip of my coffee. I got a cup of my... Wait a minute. There we go. Boy, that was good. Talking with a dry voice. But anyway, the chit-chat on the internet is that he's on life support. People exaggerate stuff, right? Just like they exaggerated Ruth Bader Ginsburg, that she was on machines to keep the minimal requirement to say, this person is alive. But it doesn't mean they're functioning, doesn't mean their brain function, doesn't mean they can respond, doesn't mean they can fulfill their duties. So could he be on life support? Could he be unresponsive? Could he be, nobody knows. Nobody of authority has stepped forward and says, yeah, some of his staff members put out comments saying he's interacting with the staff. That could mean, good morning. Are you hungry? That could be interacting with the staff. So nobody knows what the situation is or what his prognosis is for recovery and to what degree he'll be able to function. Have you all heard? Yeah, y'all are hearing brain dead. I've heard that too, but I mean, the source is where you hear it from. If you're hearing it from Phil got a loose screw, something like that. But if he was unattended and had a stroke or some other medical event, especially something that cut off oxygen to a portion of his cranium, the contents of his cranium. And there's two types of strokes. One where the blockage causes lack of blood flow and you have a resultant expiration of neurological parts of your brain, withers and dies. Or you can have the type that is a bleeding stroke, where a vessel erupts and your cranial cavity fills with blood and damages your brain that way. So both need immediate attention. And for the former one I mentioned, where you have a blockage, they have a shot they can give you within, I believe it's 2 hours. They used to say an hour and a half, and they stretch it out 2 hours. Working darn near reverse most all of the stroke if you're caught in time. And partial eyesight from one of those types of strokes, a bleeding stroke. It damages ocular nerve. But anyway, he could be put in a situation where, people will use a generic term like brain dead, but, doesn't mean they're totally brain dead. You can lose a significant loss of function of one or the other hemispheres of their brain. So anyway, it's hard to say without knowing particulars. People say heart attacks. People have alluded to the possibility of it being a stroke. But why would this, apparently, hey, if you care about somebody, you're right there at their side. The hours after a stroke, the first 48 hours are immense, for having someone there to keep them alert, keep their hopes up, calm them down so they sleep good when it's time to sleep. A lot of things that you can help with having someone close to you when that happens. But why would Senator Mitch McConnell's wife travel to China just 3 days after the long-time Kentucky Republican reportedly received CPR following an apparent heart attack? So I'm looking in the chat to see if Lauren Loomer said she heard it from somebody. Aha. Todd heard it from Lauren Loomer. I show Lauren Loomer's posts. I don't discount her. Let's see. What did Laura say? I'm going to go back up here to, I don't see Todd's, what he heard. Must have been way earlier in the chats. But anyway, it doesn't look like it. It doesn't say, if everything was taken at face value, his recovery, to be able to function in his job, it doesn't look good for that prospect. How's that going to change the dynamic? Yes, outlandish. Prayers do help. And Randy, I hope that all this talk doesn't bring you down, because it's not, don't let it bring you down. What they say I had somebody in therapy one time, they said, focus on what you can do, And that's the key. If you do that, then you find out that you can do more. So anyway, I didn't catch all the chats there. So I don't know the extent of what Laura Loomer said. I'll have to check it out myself. Hi, Miss Motorsports, how you doing? I wonder if she put that on Truth Social or not. Thune has spoken to Mitch McConnell, Linda said. Okay, well, if he's able to, he had to learn. Yeah, that's true. Sometimes that's the case. You got to learn to feed yourself, learn to walk. And they come a long way with that rehab. But anyway, we'll see what happens with Mitch McConnell. But anyway, who's the other one? Disappeared on us. And I say, good. Go. Who's this beauty right here? Oh, New York City mayor's wife, Rama Duwaji, skips America 250 for Islamic spiritual wellness retreat in Spain, where all the communists live. The communists, right? I wonder how AI is going to interpret that pronunciation. But anyway, the White House. Oh, this is not unrelated to what's-her-face. Maybe I didn't get the body of the story. I don't know. You get the gist. They ain't from around here, okay? Miss Mamdani, if that's her name. No, her name's Rama Duwaji. So she didn't even take the last name. Oh, it's their culture, Their culture, okay? Here we go. Speaking of culture. Babylon B, what do you got? TSA, no-fly list, updated no-fly list. Entire Democrat Party placed on the no-fly list. Live official TSA advisory. There they are, the entire Democrat Party. Oh, let's see how long this guy lasts. He's a happy-go-lucky looking guy, and look at him. Nice guy, got a smile on his face, must be running for office. Running for mayor of Podunkville, USA. No, who is it? Rear Admiral Ali Asameh has been appointed commander of the Islamic Revolutionary Guard Corps. Oh, the Navy, succeeding the late Alriza Tangsiri. So, usually they have these faces where they look like they're real mean and they're going to go, but he got a smile on his face. He's trying to send us a message like, don't blow me up. I will work to help USA. I don't know. Well, anyway, we'll see how long he lasts, since he publicly declared himself to be the commander of the, or what's left of the Iranian Navy. People be taking bets on that. Oh, look here. I checked the comments out on this. What's his first name? Mahmoud Ahmadinejad. Back from the dead at Khamenei's funeral. Did you all hear this? The Telegraph is reporting this. Iran's former president. I put up the video of his house being bombed, people standing around. There was nothing but a hole in the ground. And I talked about how he was involved in the 1979 hostage situation with our embassy, American citizens. And now they're saying he's alive. He went to the funeral. So I put in the comments, looks like we got another bit of business to take care of. Iran's former president has appeared at the funeral of Ayatollah Ali Khamenei, despite having been reported. People in the comments were saying this is old picture from COVID days, or it was photoshopped and it's not real, and that a lot of people were saying the Telegraph is just another arm of the corrupt mainstream media that we're dealing here with the United States. I don't know. But I'm sure we've got analysts working on it. And it will be a matter of time. A matter of time. If he is still walking around. Oh, I got another video of Trump. And the FISA thing. I mean, FISA. FIFA. I got that on my mind too. But anyway, and for YouTube benefit, is AI. Okay, it's a parody, it's a joke. What? I'm going to get I heard that was that James Brown music playing in the background? Do you think it played long enough for me to get we'll see. So anyway, yeah, let the world get mad. Let Europe get mad. I don't care. Actual talk about the foul or what? I haven't listened to this yet. Let's see.
But all I did, I asked for a review because I didn't think it was a foul. And, again, I'm good at this stuff. I didn't think it was a foul. I thought it was two great athletes that crashed into each other and got entangled. That was not a guy punching somebody in the face or anything that, would be different. And I think it's a terrible, if they wouldn't allow, a top player, maybe the best, maybe among the best players on the team to play, I think it would have had a big stain. And I related just that feel. I didn't tell him what to do. I can't tell him what to do. But, and I don't believe he made the decision. I think it was a committee that made the decision. And they made the right decision because, number one, it wasn't a foul. And you want to see a game with your best players. You don't want to say, how would you feel if I took, we take Messi out? Look, he ran into somebody. Or we took Ronaldo, you bunked into somebody, we're going to take you out of a game. He's great. Or Harry Kane, we're going to take you out of the game, Harry, because you happen to hit somebody a little bit harder than you can't do that. If you would have taken him out, I think it would have really stained this incredible champion. We got to have our best players, and Belgium's got a great team, by the way. We got to have our best players, and they have to have their best. And if we win or we lose, it's fair. Otherwise, let's say we lost him and we lose the game. It would be a terrible thing. So I think they made a really brilliant decision. I think the referee's call was horrible. And nobody talks about that. They talk about the red card like it's fine. Nobody talks. The referee's decision to red card. I didn't know what the hell a red card was. When I found out, I said, you got to be kidding. This guy just hands up, okay, your best player is not going to play next week or in the next game. I said, wow, that's a lot of power. That's terrible. But then I looked at his past, and
yeah, somebody check that. Somebody check that ref's bank account. Somebody check that ref's bank account. You know, I was going to put this on my thumbnail, or a derivative of this picture. Trump posted a lot of pictures of the monuments. Again, he is shoring up the nation's morale, okay? And he's showing these, what are they, 10 percenters of malcontents, misfits, and miscreants, that we don't give up and we're going to keep winning, okay? No matter what you do. And if anything, you're going to keep getting yourselves in trouble over nothing, okay? But what a nice picture you have here. You're seeing a crowd in front of the monument. You see a rainbow and a thunder, a lightning strike. And yeah, we will not be defeated. We will succeed. We will not fail. And so for the nitwits, there's 7 of them that have been arrested that were caught. And 7 of them that got citations. The ones who got citations, have fun paying the fine, okay? Or hiring a lawyer, paying the lawyer. Have fun with that. And the ones who are looking at up to 10 years in jail, 5 years in jail, a year in jail, have fun looking for a lawyer or working with these dueling, lawfare, wild-eyed liberal lawyers that want to make a name for themselves, and you'll ride that lightning bolt right into the ground with them. Good, have fun, because we had fun, and we're still having fun. We're having fun watching you all lose. We're having fun winning, winning, winning. And here's another picture. Trump put up a very nice picture. When the clouds were cloudy sky cleared up, there everybody was. Or just before the storm rolled in. Who knows? I don't know, but there it is. The beautiful reflecting pool. And he took, it's not only the Washington Monument you see on the other side. Here we go. There. You don't see no green algae now, do you? Ha ha ha. Hi, Roland. How you doing? So, you know, let them be angry. Let them be angry over the red card. Let them be angry over the reflecting pool. Whatever. Here we got another shot at night. Donald Trump posted all these today. Ain't that beautiful? Look at the Capitol Dome back behind it. Yeah. And what do you see? What do you see in the picture, folks? Ha ha ha. You got to look for the little things. Little things mean a lot. Let's see. I'm looking through the chat, see if anybody I missed. Did I miss anybody? I don't think so. Boy, I got to put both hands on here for the screen to work for some reason. Needs an electrical connection, I guess. But anyway, Chopper Sissy said, ha ha ha, that's right. How much you want to bet that's Marine One sitting there flying right in front of the Washington Monument? How many of y'all noticed that chopper about 2/3 of the way up on the monument? There you go. Elvis said helicopter. Oh, Tammy, you can't see it? Oh, my. It's about 2/3 of the way up. You'll see it. A chopper. Marine One, Donald J. Trump. Oh, I think maybe I did get that. Let me see. This post from Clandestine. Remember what I have been saying, and I've been saying it too, about American pride and patriotism being a matter of national security. I call it morale. All right? That was not hyperbole. It's real. The Trump administration and U.S. military are running a counter psyop to reignite the American spirit that the communist left are trying to destroy. So he put this picture, Iwo Jima, raising the flag. There you go, Homeland Security, put this up, embrace the homeland, embrace patriotism. There you go. And you see the B-1 bomber and the jets flying over the memorial. So yes, we got to reignite the spirit. It doesn't have to be reignited with me. They're just throwing logs on the fire because it never went out. So anyway, here's another picture I liked. I thought that would make a good thumbnail one day. But you have the Lincoln Memorial cleaned up, looking very presentable, no graffiti and trash all around, and members of the U.S. military in front of Abraham Lincoln. You know, if they're going to keep that Juneteenth garbage, they need to call it Emancipation Day or Lincoln's Day. And if they want to babble about Juneteenth with nobody knows what the hell they're talking about, let them babble about it, but call it Emancipation Day or Abraham Lincoln. A day to remember Abraham Lincoln. Because the day of his assassination, the day of his death, is tax day. Isn't that some way to treat a former president? Even though during Lincoln's time there was no notion even of a personal income tax, no iota of a thought to give the government enough power to go around to every human being in this country and demand an accounting. That kind of tyranny would have never been considered. So that's what Trump's been working on right here. Another post by the White House. Patriots in control. And I'll tell you about that saying, Patriots in control. We know where we first heard it from. We heard it from the 17th drop. Right? Hi, Bruce. How you doing? We heard it from the 17th drop. Patriots in control. It doesn't necessarily mean Americans. Remember when Trump went to the UN and gave his speech, while coincidentally at the same time Nancy Pelosi was doing her funeral walk with the impeachment papers for Trump, instead of showing him support? He told the globalists that the future belongs to patriots. He was talking to all countries who yearn for freedom and liberty, and not globalism. Okay, the globalists were done, is what he said during that speech during his first term, and it is the future is for patriots. And he was referring to other nations besides America. That's why I'm saying there is an alliance of multiple countries in the special military operation that is doing a counter psyop. Trump posted this with no comment. I want to expand it so I can see what it is. The Golden Door. What do y'all know about this? From Ellis Island to the White House. The story of America's front door and the battle over who walks through it. I guess that would be his grandmother. I don't know. The Golden Door. Oh, by the way, happy birthday to Rocky Sly Stallone. Happy birthday, Sylvester Stallone. No goggling. No goggling. How old do you think Sly Stallone is today? Today's his birthday. Happy birthday, Sylvester Stallone. No goggling. Does anybody know? Does anybody know how old he is? Let's see. Take a guess. Take a quick guess. First number that pops in your mind. Ha ha ha. I'm going to put a link into my, I saw Bush put in a bunch of coffees and booms. So I'm going to put in a link to buy me a coffee, and I appreciate everybody this week who went to buy me a coffee. Gary was the last one to go by there. Boom! I appreciate it, Gary. Boom! And Miss Mindersood leaves her Moabs. I got to put her Moabs in. And Gary, boom, 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 boom. When you put a Moab in, you get multiple shout-outs. Younger gang went by, and Robin. Kaboom, kaboom. And Mike and Bev always come by to see me and buy me a coffee. And I appreciate it. Kaboom. So there's a link in the chats to buy me a coffee if anybody wants to help out. Cole said 80. Mr. Minister said 83. Roland said 78. Todd said 78. Elvis said 80. Tammy said 80. Let's see. Bush Jr. turned 80. Sissy said. And the correct answer is 80. He's 80 years old, 80 years young. He's just as old. Well, he's a little bit younger than the President of the United States. So if I will listen to some reviews of this movie, if you all want to take time to whenever it comes out. If you want to go to the theater, fine. If you want, or if you want to wait till it comes out on streaming or stuff like that. I heard it's worth seeing. It hasn't been infested with a bunch of crazy, outperforms box office projections, tops Supergirl, Angel Studios, because this is on George Washington's early life, exceeded pre-release projections during its opening weekend of July 3rd through 5th. So I heard that it was, just like most Hollywood thing, it's dramatized and not totally historically accurate, but it's for storyline purposes. And the reviews I heard compared it to Mel Gibson's movie, The Patriot, right? So yeah, they put out something worth a hoot. Hi, Jerry. How you doing? Yeah, Angel Studios does good work. And we should reward them, I don't care who it is. It all revolves around a dollar bill. You got to make that money. So anyway, I'm going to get back. I have it on the picture there. I'm going to talk a little bit about this character. Boy, I didn't get a picture of it. Charlie Kirk's parents, they had to get up and leave rather quickly during the trial because it got to the point where eyewitnesses, people on the scene were describing what happened after the shot and before the shot. And I wouldn't be able to sit and listen to that either. They had to get up and leave during the testimony. But the Kirk family to face Tyler Robinson in court Monday, which was today, for a preliminary hearing in Charlie Kirk murder case. They had a quote from him. I had the opportunity to take out Charlie Kirk, and I'm going to take it. So, my thoughts on the matter? That he should face the ultimate punishment, and he should go on a timeline very similar to, what was his name? The one who did the Oklahoma City attack. Prayers pour in for Erica Kirk as she comes face to face with Tyler Robinson. It makes me think, I don't dwell on it too much because I get stirred up, And not only no remorse is he laughed again today in court. But what a horrible man, what a horrible individual. And the way they treated Erica Kirk, and I won't get into the famous names that jumped right on the bandwagon of excoriating her. But I tell you what, my patience for some of these clickbaiters, especially the ones making big money. I'll show you what my 5-year run on Rumble brought me. I'll put that in the studio one day. Probably tomorrow night. Wait a minute. What's tonight? No, Wednesday night. We'll see. Hey, if you're subscribed, you'll know when I go live. So how come you're not subscribed? Go ahead and do that. And go ahead and give me a thumbs up or thumbs down, by the way. So anyway, that's one thing why I'm jaded about these clickbaiters. I really have a dim view of them. It's hard to come up with stuff to be interesting. And there's so many people on the internet that just won't tune in unless you're talking some wild crap, to get people titillated. My purpose for going live is to calm people down and let them know we got a lot of work to do. Okay. And that's what I've been doing for 5 years. We got to straighten out our country. Okay. Nobody's going to do it for us. But then you have somebody, like I say, it's on the level of a Will Rogers or, somebody famous way back in the day that people like to listen to. Maybe Billy Graham Sr. Okay. Even that level. And for somebody to do what this person did, what would they have done back in the 60s and 70s if he'd have done that to Billy Graham? What would have happened? There wouldn't have been a jail to keep people away from him. They ripped him to shreds. Maybe not that. Maybe that's a little hyperbolic. But the trial would certainly be moving at a lot quicker pace, and people wouldn't want to be hearing a bunch of nonsense about. The bullet doesn't match. Of course it doesn't. It's mangled. Doesn't match anything. We're going to learn a lot. We learned a lot, and we're going to keep learning a lot. We're going to see what kind of justice system we have. Where's this trial being held? Posobiec is reporting on it. I don't know if he was physically there. I know he's in D.C. because he put out a video of his kids and him and his wife at the reflecting pool, and Donald Trump reposted his video of the kids being there at night. Tyler Robinson was laughing. Jack Posobiec. I didn't see any current pictures of it, so I went back and got the last picture of him laughing. There's something wrong with these people. Something wrong. And they're not a big part of the population. Here's a Posobiec video. He took a number of them while he's in Philadelphia. I guess that's where the trial is. Man with severe TDS starts screaming and cursing in front of children at America's 250 event. And this is Posobiec. And he blurred out the shirt that says F Donald Trump. Back in my day, you come around kids wearing a shirt like that, you'd have been picking your rear end off the ground. How many times have I said that? And that's the way it used to be. But anyway, here he is dealing with some lunatic.
Sir, we're having a great day here, and you're screaming in front of children. You're screaming, you're hollering, you're causing a scene.
You want to kick out the Asians and the Africans?
The illegal aliens. What was the first act passed by the Congress on immigration? What did George Washington pass? Boo! 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 USA! 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 USA!
That went by pretty quick. Was he wearing a Charlie Kirk shirt, Jack Posobiec? So anyway, we want him to be safe, everybody to be safe. But boy, these people are lunatics. Did you all see the resurgence? Where is it? Of the Patriot Front crowd. These guys that march around wearing khaki pants and masks. Here you go. Oh, gosh. Where'd it go? Here it is. And they got on a bus. Here's the big picture of it. And they took a picture. Oh, look, and everybody's going, oh, look at the poor black girl surrounded by these white supremacists, right? I got to watch how I say it. It's not because of me. It's because of the platform. You know, if they were real conservatives, if they were real MAGA, they wouldn't be covering their faces. We all know that. A lot of people say they're feds, right? But they made a big show of it, and here's this girl supposed to be scared, right? And that's what's flying around Blue Sky and all these victimhood sites. But somebody made a meme already. Guess which young lady made it home safely? Huh? Guess which young lady made it home safely? And we all know it's some kind of operation that's trying to divide the country, keep up the narrative, all right, of division and danger. What else? There's a post about it. Let me find it. Oh, turns out this girl, Adam Francisco, is that his last name? The guy with a kidney transplant? One of the girl trapped in the subway, supposedly trapped. They say it was. Okay, she's got a criminal record for indecent exposure on the subways. This is her. The chatter, okay, allegedly, is that she worked with this group to stage that photograph to make herself look like she was in peril. Kind of like the U.S. aid business where they finance so-called KKK members and they create their own scenes to collect money. Okay, but here she is, the same one. And we're going to see if there was any group coordination there as a psyop. We shall see. We shall see. What's this one? Oh, I get to Russia in a little bit. Russia attacks Ukrainian capital. I talked about that last night. Kiev with ballistic missiles on eve of critical NATO summit where Trump is probably already there by now. Ukraine's capital, Kiev, came under attack by Russian ballistic missiles. The country's Air Force said on the eve of a critical NATO summit in Turkey that President Donald Trump plans to attend. Yeah, no child. She's too old. That's right. She's a plant, an actor, okay? Russian Icelander M ballistic missiles and Zircon hypersonic. That's another we heard about the Oreshniks. These are called Zircon. Hypersonic cruise missiles struck Ukraine's Zulia machine building plant, Vizar, in Vishnevyev, Kiev Oblast. The plant is responsible for manufacturing Neptune cruise missiles, as well as missiles from the FV-55 and 48NX and 6. I mean, families used by the S-300 air defense system. So I have some videos of some of these buildings blowing up. But one of them is very interesting. I'll get to it in a minute. It has to do with, maybe has to do with that phone call. Okay, the second perfect call, I don't know. Today's strike by the Russian armed forces, which was happening last night while we were live, was one of the worst. Quote, not a single ballistic missile or Zircon was shot down. This is reported by Ukrainian military channels. Now, they did strike back in some of Russia's gas lines. Here's a photograph of I might have video of this too. Now, a gas pipeline is burning in Belgrade, Russia, following a Ukrainian strike. And yes, there are gas shortages. Now, oil is not an issue. It's where they refine it in the gasoline. So, here we go. Here we go. Hold on. Whoa. Russia's got plenty of oil. It's turning it into gas. Refining it is the thing. Massive Russian combined strike overnight hit key Ukrainian strategic targets across Kiev and multiple regions using missiles and tracked drones. Local sources report the Vizar plant producing Neptune missiles was hit, completed by a powerful secondary detonation. Shipbuilding company Kuznia, I can't say all that, and the generator enterprise, both assembling drones, engulfed in large-scale fires. Kiev Hydroelectric Power Station, along with heat and power plants number 5 and number 6, struck, triggering water and power outages. Military airfield infrastructure across 5 regions disrupted. The Russian factory, described as an active sponsor of Ukrainian forces, also caught in the strike wave. There is one report that many of you who were listening to me last night will find very interesting, and a video to go with it. And let me see. Here we are. Let me see if this is the... No. Anyway, let me play a couple of videos here. Let's see which this one is. This one the? I think this is one of the plants that are burnt. Oh, this is a secondary explosion. You know what they used to say during the Iraqi war, the first one with General Schwarzkopf. Did we hit a fake tank or a real tank? And the answer would be, well, if you saw a secondary explosion, their missiles or their fuel tank going up, you knew you hit a real tank. Well, here, they hit more than a baby diaper factory or something like that. Here's where they're destroying munitions. Obviously, let me get that repeat off there. Hold on. There we go. It won't cut off. There we go. So anyway, let me get that off. Look at those things flying out there. There's a lot of ordnance in there blowing up. Here is the one, and if I can find the report, I'll tell you about it. This one, they suspect, is a factory, a storage facility. Guess what they think blew up in the storage facility? Put it in the chats if you think you know. Something we talked about last night. That was from one missile strike. One missile strike. All those other follow-up explosions were because of what the ordnance that was destroyed, not from incoming missiles. And gee, where did I put the report on that? Well, I'll go ahead and tell you what they thought it was. They thought it was the Patriot missiles that Poland sold surreptitiously to Ukraine. Remember I put that story up last night? And I said, I wonder if that had something to do with Trump delaying the 5,000 troops, American troops going over there. Why would Poland sneakily sell them Patriot missiles? When Trump was asking other nations, you know, those Patriot missiles we let you all have because you may need them. Well, we need them during this Iran conflict. We'll replace them. Go ahead and give them to us so we can deal with Iran. And a lot of them didn't do it. Well, was Poland in that list? And did they not help America because they sold the missiles to Ukraine? And did that phone call with Trump have anything to do with the discovery of that? Because if you watch that video again, you see a lot of things shooting off into the sky after the missile struck. Here's the gas line, the Russian gas line that the Ukrainians hit. I don't know how much damage that would be to repair. That looks like it's like gas flying out of the pipe that's burning up rather than a building or secondary ordnance. Let me see. Oh, that's not it. I'm trying to find that report about the Patriot missiles that were sold. Secretly sold. But anyway. You all remember it if you watched my broadcast last night. Let's see what's going on in the chats. I don't know about that, Roland. I think it's coming to an end. I think they're turning up the heat on Ukraine and Iran, and things are going to come to a head. Here's another scene. Is this the... Oh, this is a factory that they bombed that was making drones. So I don't think they're going to let up. I think it's going to keep on keeping on. Trump put this up today. He put this up today. This is good, Rand. But Rand has to vote with us more than he does. And he put up a short video Rand Paul did that said Trump, it's an 8-second video of Trump saying, it's a good thing we have Rand Paul. He knows what's important. It's an honor to stand with President Trump and fellow Republicans as we sign the Secure America Act into law. Proud to have led the charge in Congress. Well, Trump's saying, yeah, that's okay, Rand. A lot more stuff that you're not helping with, okay? But anyway, here's the picture, the video Rand Paul put up.
Rand Paul was here. Hi, Rand. Boy, it's nice to have Rand. It's a good thing to have Rand if he knows what's important.
Yeah, apparently doesn't know everything that's important. And Trump is reminding him. Trump also put this up today. He put this up today to remind everybody. 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 He put this up today to End wokeness. Public schools. In St. Paul, Minnesota, every girl is in a hijab. And it's kindergarten. Here they are. Your tax dollars at work. How much should their parents contribute to this country? It's got free education and free God knows what else. Yeah. A religion of conquest. Conquest. They use your own laws against you. Beat you over the head with your own laws. What do y'all think of this? Donald Trump posted this. Look who it is. Oh my God. You see who that is, don't you? Trump made a point of putting this up. Why? Hillary Clinton breaks with Democratic critics by backing Trump's Gaza plan as the only game in town. She praised President Trump's 20-point Gaza plan as a pathway to security for Israel and self-determination for Palestinians, calling it the only game in town. What do you think of that? Is that his way of, holding up a scalp? That Hillary has acceded to Trump? I would say so. Oh my God, this guy here. I saw a video after this. Citizen Free Press split this. Who's this guy? Wearing a Mexico shirt before the soccer game, right? Arizona Senator Mark Kelly donned a Mexico jersey. Mexico got eliminated last night. So there he is, Mark Kelly continuing his loser streak. So here's a video of after the loss. I wonder if Mark Kelly would be sitting in that living room with this guy.
No mames, hijo de tu puta. No mames, perro. Viene otra. Tiro de esquina. ¡Santo se puso! Dale. No mames. Dale. Servicio dentro del área. ¡Ah! ¡Métela! Se acabó la bomba.
Wasn't it just the other night I was saying I couldn't stand these guys. I didn't want to be around them, jumping up and down and screaming and yelling about a stupid game while their own county, their own town, their own country goes right down the crapper. They don't even know or care what their kids are being taught in school, but they would act like idiots on a ball game. Didn't I just say that the other night? Well, it just reinforces it. I could care less about the characters like that. And speaking of characters I could care less about, listen to this. Is a so-called journalist in the United Kingdom from Citizen Free Press. UK journalist Yasmin, how do you say that? Alibi Brown, must be Irish, should have kept her mouth shut. What do you mean, Citizen Free Press? So, just so happens I have the video. So here you go. She's living in a country where pretty soon you're going to have to get your old rear end up and put your hijab on and go out in the street at 5 o'clock in the morning, poke your rear end up in the air, and do your prayers while the loudspeaker goes off, okay? And you're going to sit here and tell us what's wrong with our country? Yeah, that's what you'll do.
I'm sorry, America, but you still don't know how hated your country is. America's Independence Day. The anniversary will be extravagantly celebrated. But America today is a frightful place. Slavery is being whitewashed. Academics, teachers, and activists who try to stop the erasure are being ostracized. Books about Black history or with gay characters are being banned in libraries. Abortion rights have been terminated by Supreme Court judges. Ruthless ICE men come for migrants of color, illegal as well as legal. Families are separated. The horror of such inhumanity. While I feel revulsion when it comes to Trump, to me, Trumpism is just a more extreme version of America's usual pride, greed, and destructiveness. For true and noble patriots, a reality check is now overdue. Worse still, the withdrawal of aid to the poorest countries is leading to epidemics and avoidable deaths, and US tech bosses refuse to accept reasonable regulation of the systems they have generated. This is becoming a threat to humanity itself. It's all done in your name. So when you celebrate Independence Day, remember your country as it really is.
Well, how our country really is, you old crone, is that we pulled your bacon out of the fire twice, okay, and lost hundreds of thousands of American lives, saving you all. And now Trump is telling you better start taking care of yourself. And as far as generosity, America's been the most generous nation in the history of the human race. And it just so turns out that we're finding out 90% of the money that we give to other nations is being stolen by corrupt governments and bureaucrats and criminals and cartels. And that of humanitarian aid, Americans give 90% of all charitable giving is from our country. And most of that gets stolen. And we're finding out that your so-called free healthcare systems have been underwritten on top of all the help we give to the poor nations. That you so-called first world nations, you so-called prosperous and civilized nations have been subsidizing your social agendas. We've been underwriting them by corrupt pharmaceutical companies, and we've been paying out the nose so you all could pretend like you have something good and free, which nothing free is good, okay? You all have been picking our pockets and stealing from us for decades. And then you got the gall and the nerve to sit there and put out a video like this when you don't know your ass from third base. And you're called a journalist. People like you will end up on the ash can of history with the lid closed. Makes me sick. I sit there and listen to that after I watch a grown man make an ass of himself over a damn football game when his country, Mexico, is overrun by cartels and corrupt politicians, and that's what they can't give a damn about. Human trafficking of their own citizens getting pumped into this nation and getting vacuumed into a system of human rights abuses and trafficking and prostitution. Kids from your own country, and you care about a football game? But anyway, on the lighter side, here is a fireworks mishap, which, you know, like your parents used to say, when something bad happened, well, you put a big dent in the family car when you were learning how to drive. At least nobody got hurt, right? Remember that? Yeah, stuff like that where nobody can have fireworks because somebody's Uncle Philo had a few too many Budweisers and didn't follow accepted protocol. Here's a post by Donald Trump. Ha ha ha. Victory. You see, Donald J. Trump put this up. Mike Davis, major legal victory by Attorney General Todd Blanche and the Trump Justice Department. The chief judge of the U.S. Court of Appeals for the Third Circuit halted the lawless judicial inquisition of the Department of Homeland Security by Biden New Jersey Judge Zahid Nasir Qureshi, the first Muslim judge in America. So you got some New Jersey local district judge ordering around the Department of Homeland Security and doing an investigation. He called it inquisition. Well, he got slapped down, and they should review not only his judgeship, but what the hell is he even doing in this country, and is what he is doing. How does that fit in with a nation that is in armed conflict, with a nation that's dealing with a predatory incursion? All right? Is his behavior in violation of the laws of armed conflict? Is his status such that he's a lawful citizen? We don't know. I don't know. We don't know the pedigree of a lot of these creeps. Docket text order. Chagares, Chief Circuit Judge. The request for administration stay of the hearing currently scheduled for Monday, June 8th is granted. The hearing is stayed pending further consideration of the petition. Yeah, they need to get and see what is this guy's deal. He was appointed not by Biden, as we know. Biden was non compos mentis. Okay, he was appointed by the Marxist cabal that was running the Biden so-called administration. So we need to check that out. Donald Trump posted this, that the Democrats are grabbing at straws about. The Federal Reserve working paper suggests Biden illegal immigrant wave drove up home prices by 30%. Anyone with a brain in their head would know that. When you introduce millions of people into the housing market, it's going to cause scarcity. People are going to be competing for an apartment, and especially if 70, 80% of these millions of people don't even have to pay the rent. The government pays it for them, and the prices are inflated. Scarce real estate and inflated rents. Of course, it's going to drive up home prices. So we got to, do you hear the news saying anything about that? Of course not. Trump again. The biggest and most consequential decision issued by the court by far. He's not talking about this birthright. He's putting this by far above birthright, is the slaughter case, which overturned the very famous Humphrey's executor rule, which gives Trump the authority to fire these ticks on the back of American society through bureaucracy. This whole concept of, quote, power has been fought over for nearly 100 years, going all the way back to Franklin Delano Roosevelt, where a large slice of his power was taken away. He fought to regain it, even wanting to, quote, pack the court, but was unsuccessful in doing so. This decision gives tremendous additional power back to the presidency where it belongs. It is an honor to be the sitting president who, after all these years, won this very important and hard-fought case. We had other good victories too, and we also had the birthright citizenship loss, which we will work together to correct in Congress. But the big slaughter was slaughter. The Republican Party was treated very fairly by the United States Supreme Court. Thank you for your attention to this matter, President Donald J. Trump. So, like I have said many times, if Donald Trump is happy, I am happy, okay? If Donald Trump is happy, I am happy. Here we have another post by Trump. California's FUBAR election integrity. Voter rolls. 1 of 3 commentary. In the recent election, 3 California family members, including me, received 6 ballots to their home. 2 additional ballots for former occupants that moved out of California years ago, and 1 additional ballot for a relative that died over 5 years ago. I know firsthand. I was at the funeral. Twice as many ballots as justified. 3 legitimate votes could have voted twice, but didn't. A little hint put out by the President of the United States that something's rotten in California. What's this one? Here we go. Border Patrol Union. Thank you, Senate Republicans, for passing the budget reconciliation bill last week that will give Border Patrol and ICE stable funding for the next 3 years. You cannot continue to secure the border without funding. And we are already 8 months into the fiscal year with no prospect that the Democrats were willing to compromise. It is regrettable it came to this, but we appreciate the senators who did the right thing by voting for this legislation. Next comes the House, and we urge all House members to vote for the bill. Let's get this on the president's desk as soon as possible. Oh my God, we're still screwing around with this stuff. Man, we have got a problem in Congress. It's that phony filibuster. Melinda, yes, Newsom is crying. Yeah, he's saying he's a victim. He's getting picked on. He's not a criminal, and neither is his wife. They're upstanding citizens that are being singled out by Donald J. Trump. You know, here's Google. I went to Google, I think AccuWeather or something like that. Yeah, AccuWeather, you can find different, any city in any state you want. But here's what they had, just going to Google. It's over, man. Supreme Court clears path to end TPS, temporary protective status. That's old news, but you want to put it as a headliner if somebody goes to Google. I won't stop speaking out. Haitian's TPS holder shares her story. I'm supposed to click on it and shed tears? Not me. It's old news. But no, that's what they focus on because they got nothing else to talk about. Nothing else to run on. What's this one? PBI, hey, ha ha, eat crow. Eat crow, liberals. PBI Airport begins the process of name change to Trump. Palm Beach International Airport has begun the process of being named to President Trump. Renamed. So yeah, it'll be on the highway signs. It'll be on the building. We love to see the liberals cope and seethe and cry. Do that more. We want to see more. And Trump also puts this up to counteract their drumbeat they keep putting out. We're being alienated from the world. Nobody respects us because of Donald Trump. We're losing all our allies. Well, Trump keeps putting out like this exclusive. Serbian President Vučić says that support for U.S. has surged under Trump. Relations with the U.S. have transformed under Trump, citing Trump to visit. He also put up something from Modi, Prime Minister Modi, right before he's going to meet all the globalists. Where is it at? Right here. Just reminding them. He's got the stick. Trump's got the friends, and he's got the stick, okay? And we got the dollar, and we're going to make it even stronger, and we're going to tie it to gold, and they're going to walk the chalk. They're not going to run us like they used to. They're not going to steal from us like they used to. Those days are over. Thank you, President Trump, for your warm wishes. I look forward to working with you further to advance the India-U.S. Comprehensive Global Strategic Partnership for the benefit of both our nations and the world. So Trump is going in to Brussels meeting with these globalist elites, and he's going to reinforce the story that your party is over, okay? You're not going to be running us into the ground. Here's some examples of the news they're trying to push. The New York Times, we have all this stuff going on. We have this trial that's getting started today. We have the 250th celebration. We have Trump going to a historic meeting, okay, with the globalists. We got the war in Iran. We got all kinds of stuff going on. But the New York Times says, Emil Bove defended Trump in court. Then Trump made him a judge. So it turned out he was a damn good attorney, defending Donald Trump from a bunch of corrupt judges and lawfare attorneys. And he did a great job. Yes, he's a judge. Unsolicited. What else do they sling at me? Trump's boyhood friend pushes him to seize control of the midterms. In Peter Ticktin's world, there always seems to be a conspiracy. This is from CNN. Nobody cares who Peter Ticktin is. And yes, there does always seem to be a conspiracy or cover-up lurking in the 2020 election. So the insinuation is that Trump has a friend who's a crazy conspiracy theorist who's trying to get Trump to take over the elections and screw the whole country over. You get it? It's called psychological warfare. And that's just something that pops up. Here, Mr. or Mrs. Phone Owner, let me tell you this story. Let me tell you some propaganda. Well, you can't propagandize this. Here's oil. 72.69. It's gone up a little bit, but it's going to start coming down. Remember what I was talking about the other night? OPEC Plus said we're going to up our production. Well, hey, wait a minute. Oil prices are falling. We know we want them to fall even more because we want to help Donald Trump and we want to put the screws to the lunatics in Iran and the lunatics in the United States. So oil prices are going to continue to drop. Holy cow. Here's something for you all to put on your meta page. Something for you all to put on your meta page. They all talk about Trump's friends nobody ever heard of before. Well, how about James Biden? Remember the name, Tony Bobulinski. Remember the post put out with a BlackBerry in the palm of somebody's hand. It's time. He met with James Biden, Joe Biden's brother. Meet Joe Biden's brother. He got $1.5 billion construction contract in Iraq with zero construction experience. They want to talk about the reflection pool. They want to talk about this. They want to talk about that. Well, here's something. Just drop it on the meta page and don't say nothing. At least it's documented there on their meta page. Oh, they'll come down. Yes, I see what you're saying in the chats. They'll come down. Midas trash bale. And I say, they have foreign posters, right? People that post from foreign countries. Maybe I'm jumping the gun a little bit, but somebody named Jacinto G just might be from another country. But they said, it is confirmed to my knowledge that USA did indeed violate FIFA rules. They should join Russia like the Olympics and be banned and disqualified for the remainder of the season. So I said, I put in the comments something, if it's confirmed to your knowledge, that tells me all I need to know, that Trump did the right thing. If your knowledge has anything to do with it. Everything they try to think of to smear a booger on Trump, but they're not going to get away with it. Here we have another clip from Tina Peters. And I really can't wait. With Arizona, Colorado, for all that stuff to break open, it's going to be bigger. Gotten to that point in the conversation yet. And I heard the term today, buckle up. I'll talk about that in my next broadcast. And you all see who said it and why. Okay. But anyway, I put a link in the description. I mean, I keep saying in the description. I meant to say the chats. I put a link in that chats for Buy Me a Coffee if anybody wants to help an old man out. This is a totally viewer-supported channel, and I do appreciate everybody who's went by, and also put up my postage stamp for anybody who wants to wave their phone over. However you operate them things, postage stamps. So anyway, I want to thank everybody that's helped out with Buy Me a Coffee this week, and I do appreciate it. Where's my booms? I got, at the end of the broadcast, I usually don't do booms, but I'll do them. Boom, 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 boom. I put them all over the place. So, Younger Gang, Robin, Mike and Bev, Wayne, kabow, kabow. And then special booms for Miss Mendersu, her Moabs, and also Gary, if you're out there. Kabow. So anyway, folks, enjoy this clip of Tina Peters. All right? And if you didn't give me a thumbs up, give me a thumbs down. Let me know something about what you think about the broadcast. But you all have a great night. And thank you for spending your precious time with me. And you all have a great night. I'll be seeing you soon. This is Mountain Man, over and out.
But that's how the mainstream media influences. There were over 700 articles, above the fold, color articles, front page defaming me. Oh, I remember you were public enemy number one. Good Lord. I mean, everything they could throw at you, they threw at you. They demonized you. I mean, they hounded you, and you didn't stand a chance in the information space. You know, number one, they were going to defend the 2020 election to the death. Number two, they could not admit to fraud in any way, shape, or form. And number three, they listened to these people blindly. And they wanted to put a scare. They wanted to use me as a sacrificial lamb. I took the commissioners, all the evidence, and they did nothing with it. I took it to the DA, the district attorney. He did nothing with it. You know who they called to corroborate what the truth actually was against what we put out? Dominion. It's like going to Jeffrey Epstein and asking him about his crimes. Right.